Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and I thought I would go ahead and do a tarot spread that I found on Pinterest. We wanted to do it for a few days, I just haven't had time to do it, and today I decided it's Saturday, it's my regular day off, that I would not DoorDash or anything other than clean house, cook dinner, whatever, the normal stuff around my house. I'm not doing anything extra except talking to you guys. So, I found this spread on Pinterest a while back. It's called Open Your Third Eye. There's 6 prompts. And I am using the Stretch Tarot by J.E. Stretch. This is the 2-part box edition on Make Playing Cards. They popped up in 2022. I don't have a book for it, so we're just going to go off of what it says in the cards. So there you go. So number 1 is, what advice does Earth have? And this is the first 4 of the 4 elements. What advice does the 4 elements have? So for the first one, it is Earth. What advice does Earth have? And these are the backs. And I got the Queen of Swords. I've talked about this many times. And the key word on her is perception. Change your perception. Maybe, and it's funny because I was just talking about this card, how I always see it as when I'm doing mediumship reading, I always see this as a suicide card for some reason. And maybe she's saying maybe it's time to change that perception of how you see me, or even yourself, because I am the Queen of Swords in tarot. So that makes total sense. That's crazy. So question 2 is, what advice does fire have? What advice does fire have? And we got the Hierophant. And the Hierophant to me is, all about education. It's about unlocking. I have the keys to unlock knowledge. And it brings me back to meditation. So maybe it's reminding me that I need to meditate more. I haven't in a long time, so maybe it's reminding me of that fact. Quite interesting. So for card 3, what advice does water have? And we got the King of Wands for assistance. It's funny because it's like he's invited me to come sit in the chair. Weird. But I also heard it's never too late to ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness to ask for help. So if I'm struggling with something, I need to ask for help. Interesting. Question 4, what advice does air have? What advice does air have? We got the 6 of Swords, travel. I've been getting the travel card a lot lately. Usually it's the 3 of Wands, but it's the 6 of Swords. 6 of Swords always reminds me of moving to a better day or a better something. Moving beyond what's no longer working. Moving past it. And here we got somebody in a sleigh in the snow. And they're just traveling. So that's interesting. Maybe I'm going to travel to seek the assistance I need to kind of change my perception and open up things. I do want to travel this year. I'm trying to save some money to go to New Mexico. I don't know that it's going to happen, considering I had COVID earlier in the year and I wasted a lot of vacation time for that. There's supposed to be some rule that they can't take away your vacation time if you have COVID, but my job doesn't care about that. They make you use your vacation time. But I'm seeing here, even if it's just a small jaunt somewhere, like today, my husband's mom wanted to go to her brother's and another location in like 2 hours from here. And I was willing to go to that, but then nobody did anything. So maybe that's what it's saying. Maybe you're going to travel. And the place that we were going to go to is a town in the state of Missouri that has a reputation for mysterious things happening. Mysterious murders, mysterious disappearances. It is a town formed in bloodshed, and a lot of bloodshed. So that's interesting. Number 5. I've been like super tired today. I don't know why. Like every time I turn around, I'm napping. I'm not sick, and even though I keep clearing my throat, I'm not sick. I just really feel like I'm drained, and that's another reason why I decided to take off from door dashing or any extra jobs today, because I was just like, I need to reset. And so I thought that was a good time to do this spread. I'm just looking over it. It's interesting. So card 5, what insights can be gained from spirit? What insights can be gained from spirit? And I got the 4 of Swords and rest. Can't make this crap up, man. I really can't. There's so many beds to choose from, and they all look inviting to me. That's how tired I am. It's weird. I don't think I need to go into detail on that at all, because I had, and it's funny with the Hierophant, like, there's knowledge to be found. I'm going to tell you guys a story. So, yesterday, my next door neighbor on the other side of this fence, my husband went over there, because we had every house in this street a couple weeks ago got hit. Their vehicles got hit, robbed. Mine thankfully didn't have anything taken, or my husband's, but most people did have stuff stolen out of their cars, and we're thinking it's teenagers. A lot of people have Ring, what do you call it, that Ring camera, and nobody caught anything. It was like they knew exactly where to hide, be off camera to steal. It was weird. But he went over there to talk to them yesterday, and I found out from them that she reads tarot. She's what's the word I'm looking for? She has premonitions, all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, what is happening? And it's funny because the last 2 days I pulled from my Greenwich Tarot, because that's the deck I was using all week, and it kept saying hidden things will be revealed to you, and I'm like, because we never talk, and the one time we actually talked, we found out we had a lot in common. So I just found that interesting. And then we got the travel, and then to change your perception on things. And I feel like here is like hidden things will be unlocked. You have the keys to unlock this knowledge. Interesting. Maybe the resting is what I need in order to access that knowledge. You know what I mean? So for the 6th question, what can you physically do? What can I physically do? This is 2 of Swords in conflict, but I heard make a decision, make a choice. Stop being in conflict with self. This is what I see with the 2 of Swords. You're in conflict with just you. You're the one that has to make the choice. You're the one that has to make a decision. So I'm finding that quite, and that's in this particular deck, there's, so in the J.E. Stretch deck, there are 2 magicians, a female and a male. This is the female version. With this special edition, there's 2 Wheel of Fortunes also, and 2 of Swords. This is the new 2 of Swords. So I also find that interesting that that's the card I pulled. Interesting, because I never pulled the 2 of Swords, and yet I pulled the brand new one from this deck. Interesting. Now I'm going to pull from, okay, so I've been pulling, I've created my own little spread. Um, this week I figured out a spread, like it just, okay, so I've been debating how to make a mediumship spread. I don't know why I said mediumship spread in quotes, but I'm trying to figure out how to make a mediumship spread that makes sense for me. And over the course of the last week, I've been using this deck, and my Green Witch Tarot all together. None of them match. But I was happy using these 3 decks together. I never used 3 decks together either. This Clarity deck is awesome. And it has a little book, so all the keywords on all the cards have keywords. This one says champion here. And then you go in the little book and it gives you a little blurb on what that is. So I paired them all together, and I would do, I figured out a spread. It just came to me like out of the blue. When I finally wasn't contemplating it, one hit me. So I would do like, the middle card would be, and that's probably why I was all into this spread, because it's the same layout. The middle card would be the person that's passed, and then the 2 cards on either side of them from a different deck would be their personality, and then a card above would be what they've learned since they passed, and then a card below what they've learned since before, what they took with them before they passed, what they learned before they passed. So I found that quite interesting, and it's been yielding some really interesting reads, because instead of pulling a card of the day to see how the rest of my day is going at lunchtime, I've been doing that spread because I know there's someone else following me around lately. So the other day I had I saw a clairvoyantly, I saw a lady. It was a girl, slight build, looked like it could have been a boy, and they were having, they had, what's the word I'm looking for? They had a hoodie on, like a gray hoodie, over their head. Their hair was stringy, like they hadn't washed it. They had jeans on and were barefoot, and it was like, and I saw them walking down the side of a highway, and cars were honking at them, and it was just, but they were walking along as if they had been drugged. And as soon as I thought that, I saw the scene switch to, it clearly was a girl. She was kidnapped, and she was probably 19, 20, around there. I would say if it was a girl, she would have been 16, 17, somewhere in there. If it was a boy, it would have been 18, 19, 20, somewhere in there. And I'm seeing all this clairvoyantly, and I turned around and did this spread that I just told you about, and it came up with some very interesting things on her, verifying that it was a girl and all this. Like, every card came up as a girl. It was crazy. And it came up as a young girl and all this other stuff, and I'm like, that's insane. So this spread I've created is very powerful, and I'll probably be doing a lot more of that spread on this channel. I'm probably going to do a spread after this, with the camera facing down, for that spread, because I want to do it, and I know there's somebody else hanging out in my house, because when I talked to them yesterday, I found out that the previous owner died at my house. And I've had a lot of paranormal stuff happen in my house over the years. It's unexplainable. So that explains a lot of stuff. And just the fact that every time I turn around the last couple of days, I would kept getting hit. Things are coming, things are going to be revealed to you. And I'm like, that's crazy. That's crazy. So then, Friday, Thursday, I did this spread again. My spread I made up on mediumship spread. And immediately, clairvoyantly, was seeing a rotund, angry, bald man. Very short, very rotund, round. He was in a suit, but it was like he was unhappy. He was a very unhappy person. Very and he acted like he's running everything. And I'm like, who are you running? What are you running? Nothing. But he came through, and I got the name Cecilia, and I wanted to say if it was his daughter, granddaughter, like I didn't know what. I never got what relation she was to him. I kept feeling like a daughter or granddaughter, but it was never confirmed because I would ask questions, and then I heard him say something about illness. That's why he's here. And I feel like if I found out who Cecilia was, that I could say, hey, this dude, I didn't even get a name from him. He was just like really quickly in. And it was like, but it's weird because the 2 times I've done this spread I made up intentionally for mediumship readings. Clairvoyantly and claircognizantly, things are, as soon as I do the spread, things are popping off, and I'm like, that's crazy. So it is literally like I set that intention and locked the intention in place when I did that spread. When I wrote down, because I wrote down the spread, as soon as I wrote that down and started doing the spread, it was like I locked this in place. So now every time I do that spread, I feel like things are going to happen. And I'm outside right now just because it's so pretty, and I was so tired. Every time I'm inside, I just want to sleep. So I'm like, I got to get out of the house. Wake up. But I've rambled on long enough for you guys. It's getting ready to, the sun's getting ready to go down. So I'm going to pull, just see what this deck yields for this spread we just did. And it is the 10 of Clubs, and the word is transcendence. So again, it's like changing our perception, coming to a higher, and maybe that spread, me creating the spread and seeing that it's working, that I'm having things happen and come through, is the whole point of this spread. Is like, you've already started that process of changing your perception, doing something that works for you. Just make sure you rest and don't overexert yourself in the process of unlocking all these ideas and thoughts. And interesting. So let's see what this little book says here on their linen cardstock. And I hate linen cardstock. These aren't as bad, but they won't stay, like they're very slidey. And that's why I hate linen cardstock, honestly. But this is the 10 of Clubs, and the keyword is transcendence. Let's just look at it. Suit of Clubs, clarity. Theme, feeling. Period of the life of late adulthood. And element is fire. This is the suit of feeling, a rational function that weighs values and attaches a proper worth to things. It's represented by the last part of life beyond emotions and thoughts, also associated with the element of fire, transforming us beyond the physical plane towards transcendence. Wow. And then we've got the 10 for transcendence, mystical experience, completion, or enlightenment. So exactly what I was saying here, there's an enlightenment happening, and I've been getting that the last 3-4 days. It's crazy. So that was my spread, guys. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And y'all have a good night. Stay tuned for my next spread.